Hello, Facebook friends and family. Welcome again. I'm Angela Cyril, your host for Real Talk, Real Stories, Motivation. Today, we're going to talk about liabilities and assets. And if we all remember the last time we spoke about how you handle your critics when they criticize you and say mean things to you, and then I related it to a child who goes to school, sits on exams and fails it, and then goes home only to be called stupid, and the two ways that child could handle that situation. So today we're going to deal with assets and liabilities and see how we can relate it to everyday situations. So for those of you who have done accounts or business, you will know what an asset is and what a liability is. But for those of you who haven't, let me give you a brief explanation of what they are. So an asset is anything that you can purchase, inherit, get, and that will increase in value over time. All right, and the most popular example of this would be land, and then of course a house, property. But I may want to add stuff like if you have bonds, if you purchase stocks in certain businesses, or any form of investment that can bring you revenues over time. So a liability is the complete opposite of that. So a liability is something that you purchase that will decrease in value over time. And the most popular example of this would be a vehicle. Because they tell you as soon as you purchase a vehicle and put it on the road, the value goes way down. So you're no longer able to get as much for it as if you had just purchased it. So, and over time, as you continue driving it, it's going to depreciate. All right, so people in our journey in life, people can be either an asset or a liability. Now we are in the season of fall, and as I look out, I see all the leaves are falling from the trees, and then that is very significant to me because it reminds me of leaves that we may have in our lives that we need to drop off. And so just like the tree, when the season changes, has to drop all its leaves, so too in our lives when seasons change, sometimes we have to change people, friends, and all of that. Now when the tree drops all that leaves, it looks dull, it looks like it has no life, it's dead. So it's okay in your life if you have to drop friends and you feel bad about it. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to go through the motion of losing that person, because obviously that person has been in your life for a period of time and they have been some sort of help in some way, and sometimes it's hard for us to let go, but we really have to. Just like the tree has to shed these leaves, you need to shed off certain people in your life in order to go to the next level. Because in truth and in fact, there are some people in our lives that just can't go to the next level with us, and if we hold on to them, that's when they become a liability. So I hope you understand, the correlation right there. So they're definitely going to become a liability when you try to hold on to them, when they have come in your life just to teach you one lesson and you try to hold on to them because you've held on to them too long. Sometimes we hold on to people too long, and so we get used to having them around, and so when times comes for us to drop them, it becomes difficult more. And so the longer you hold on to someone, the harder it is to drop them off, to get rid of them when the season in your life change and people have to change, And just like the tree drops all its leaves in the fall and it goes into hibernation, it goes to sleep. So during that time that it sleeps, I would imagine that it probably stores up all its energy and all the food in the trunks and in the branches. And then when the next season comes, guess what? All these nutrients and everything that it has stored up comes is being used to nourish the new leaves and the flowers and everything that comes with it. So too in your life, when you drop people off, when the season comes for you to drop people off in your life, you are going to use the time that you're going through that hurt, just like someone who is trying to stop smoking or stop drinking. It hurts, so it hurts to drop certain people off sometimes. But you use that time to build up your character. It makes you a stronger person. It makes you more ready to be able to accept the new set of people that's going to come. So you use that energy to accept that new set of people that's going to come in your life for the season that you're in. So every season you go through, you're going to have new leaves, you're going to have a new set of branches, but your roots are always there. Your roots are the ones that's going to keep you grounded. All right. Now, sometimes on our journey some people will make the gravest mistakes of dropping off the roots in their lives and holding on to the leaves and the branches. That's the dumbest mistake we can make. The people who are there that have us grounded, that supports us, we tend to just drop them off and we hold on to the leaves and the branches, and so we become stagnant. We remain in one place and we can't move up to the next level, because you just can't move up to the next level with certain people in your life. They are not equipped to take you to that next level. So that is why it's important to know who are your roots and who are your branches and who are your leaves. So when the season comes for you to make that decision, you're going to know exactly who you need to drop off and who you need to hold on to. So your assets are your roots. These are the people that will help you, to develop, to help you, to take you to the next level. And the leaves, they will come to teach you one lesson. And every lesson that you learn is important for your journey. So every season you will get new leaves, and every new person that comes in your life will teach you a lesson that will help you on that span of your journey, and then help you to get ready to move up to the next level in your life, because we are quickly evolving. You have to always change the way you do things and move up to your next level. It's just like having a business. You can't do business the same way all the time. You learn. My daughter will say, "Mommy, sometimes you make mistakes." I'm like, it's okay to make mistakes, because anything you try new in life, you're going to have mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, but you don't dwell on your mistakes. So it's okay to make mistakes, because you learn from your mistake and you get better at what you're doing when you learn from your mistakes. So when you start a business, anything new you start in life, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make wrong turns in your life. So you start a business, probably somebody comes and says, "Can you trust me? I need something, but I don't have the money right away. Can you trust me?" And you go ahead and you trust that person with all your heart. Or somebody says, "I need some money. I need to start a business. Can you trust me?" And you trust the person with all your heart. And they say, I'll start paying you by month end. And month end comes, you don't see the person, and then the next month end, and so when you go to the person, they give you an excuse. So you have taken a risk. You took a chance, to help someone. But it turns out that you made a wrong judgment. You made a wrong choice, to help the person. But you learn from your mistakes. So from that mistake, you're going to decide, okay, the next time somebody comes around, I'm going to probably do a background check, or, trust the person with something small of a lesser value and see if the person keeps their commitment. Or, so there are different steps you can take to see whether a person is trustworthy, so you don't make the same mistake again. So that's life. You meet new friends, you meet new people in your life, and they're going to teach you a lesson. You learn from your lesson, you make mistakes, and that is a journey of life. We make mistakes, we learn from our mistakes, and we move on. You don't dwell on them, and you don't allow it to affect your next process, the next step in life. So that is how we need to look at our life, look at the people that are important to us, look at the people that are liabilities in our lives. And I want to extend further on that liability issues. So if you really want to get somewhere in life, you have to make some serious changes. And like I said before, and you have to make sacrifices. Life is about sacrifices and risk. Most importantly, you make sacrifices, you take a risk. Unless you learn to do these things, you can't move anywhere. You have to be prepared to lose. Lose some, gain some. In every area of your life, you're going to lose some, you're going to gain some. So liabilities, a person comes into your life, let's say a partner, a mate, you choose someone that you want to share some time with, but in the process, you realize you have to scrutinize that person, and I've said that before. See what that person's intentions, what their intentions are, what their motives are. And you're going to have to determine, based on how you see the person behaving, their attitude towards life. Some people, you have to look out for people who will say things like, oh, it's just a vehicle, oh, it's just a plate. So if they break a plate, it's just a plate. If they break a glass, oh, it's just a glass. But guess what? Sometimes they tell you it's just a plate, it's just a glass, but they won't replace it. And to you, it's not just a plate or it's not just a glass. To you, it's, hey, that's money that I took to buy that glass. And now that you've broken it, I have to find the money to replace it. So you have to look out for people with this kinds of attitude, because that means they don't care. They don't value a dollar. And we have to live life, and we have to place a value on every dollar that we earn, because it is very important. You may just see it as a dollar. Oh, it's just $2, really? $2 every day? Calculate that and you'll see how much it's going to add up to. So every time you break something, through carelessness, it has to be replaced. And so the money you're going to take to replace it, probably it's money that you could set aside for your next project, for something else that you want to obtain, for something else that you want to purchase. So, but you have to now take it and replace something that somebody who doesn't care, who don't place value on anything, have broken or through carelessness. Some people just do things because they don't care, so they're careless. And so they'll keep breaking your stuff, they'll keep misplacing stuff. Oh, I don't know where I put it. They put things anywhere and so people steal it. Oh, I don't know what happened to it, but you're costing me money, and these people can be liabilities in your life. Oh, it's just a vehicle, so every time they want to move, they get behind the wheel. But every time you go behind that wheel, it's going to cost you fuel, it's going to be wear and tear on the vehicle, and all of this sort. And so you have to place a value on everything that you have in life. And don't make people just come in your life with the attitude that it's just and it's just and in the process they're hindering your progress, because every time you try to make some steps forward, their attitude, the way they view things, it's going to cause you to regress, and your progress is stunted. So we have to be vigilant and look out for this kind of attitudes in the people that we bring in our lives, because these are very important, and that is when people become liabilities in our lives, when they don't care. They just don't care. Sometimes they have never worked hard, so they really don't know the value of a dollar. You will never know the value of a dollar unless you work hard for it. And I'm going to give you a true story about my daughter, my first daughter. One time, when she was in her last form in high school, she decided to go strolling with her friends. And I met her, and I was very angry about it, and I dealt with her. And so when she finished high school, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I noticed that you have some friends in your life in high school that are not good for your future. They're not good to take you where you need to go in life. So because of that, I am not going to send you to college. I am going to send you to work. So you're going to learn what it is to earn a dollar and to spend a dollar. And instead of sending her to college, I sent her to work. I went to a friend of mine who had a business, and I told him I need a job for my daughter, and he hired her, and she went to work. And later on in life, she said, that was the best thing you did for me. So sometimes in our lives, we have to for people to really know the value of a dollar and to appreciate a dollar when they have it, we have to take certain steps. We have to decide. And sometimes people don't want to learn. You will try to teach them and they don't want to learn. So it's even worse. So if you have someone in your life and you're trying to teach them the value of a dollar and how important it is for them to be careful about the way they use things, and they're willing to learn, then it's okay. But if that person just insists on being who they are, they insist on being wasteful, you bring groceries in the house and they just waste, they overcook and they just dump, and every day you go through that process, guess where? Your money is going in the garbage, and obviously you can't move forward in life. You can't make progress in your life. So be very careful about the people that you allow to remain in your life. When you see these things, and when you know it's that person, hey, that person just is not ready to take me to the next level. That person is just going to keep me down. It is the right thing to do, to drop them off, because they may be just leaves that came to teach you a lesson, and you need to learn that lesson and move on to your next level. I hope that I'm making sense to you. Because I don't know, I'm putting it as the best way that I can. I'm teaching you based on my experience. Because had I held on to people who came into my life, I would not have been able to achieve what I've achieved in my life as a single mom, single parent. So it's the best that I can tell you based on my experience. I'm not telling you stories from somebody else's experience. I'm telling you stories from my own experience. So I hope that it can help you as well, and you can see where I'm coming from. So it's very, very important to notice the people who can become liabilities in your life and cause you to lose money. And not only money, sometimes probably the person is good with money, but also they become a liability to you because maybe the person is a noisy person. They get angry over anything. You can't have a decent conversation with them. That too can be a liability to your mental health. So it's in different areas. So it all depends on how it affects your life, how it affects your progress in life. So it may not only be based on how they spend money or how they use things. So it's different things, things that probably people do that can just affect you and cause you to not be able to make the progress that you want or you should make in life. Because remember, you are here, you have a purpose, and you have to get to that purpose. But we all need people to help us along the way, and that is why different people come in at different seasons in our life to help us on that journey. So life is beautiful, but it's at the end of the day, it's how you view it and how you are able to process the things that you go through in your life, and how you are able to use them to make your journey easier. Another thing that's very important in our life is learning to be content. If you have a person that's not content, they no matter what you do, if you're trying your utmost, to do what you can at the time, because it's also very important to understand that there are some people who just don't try at all. Like I said before, they will have the money, they'll be making the money, but they don't like to give. And even if you have a need, they will not meet the need. So you don't need people like that in your life. They are just there to fulfill their own selfish desires. So people are in your life probably sometimes for the benefit that they're getting from you and to satisfy their own selfish desires. But as for you personally, they are not there to help you to become a better you. And you want to become a better you. You want to become a person that's constantly growing, just like a business has to constantly change. You have to constantly add new products to your business in order for you to remain on the market. Otherwise, somebody else will come and they will have more products than you, and they will do better than you because somebody comes to your shop and you always have the same boring products. And as new products come on the market, you need to be able to find. So your life too, you need to find new things, new people that can add value, that can make you happy, that can make you content, and make you feel comfortable in your skin. Some people make you feel uncomfortable, with their attitude, their behavior, how they treat you. They make you feel uncomfortable. Some people can make you feel less than who you are. They cause you to have a low self-esteem, and they just are not good for your growth generally. So that is why you can't hold on to people like that. So I was saying before, these people now, they just take from you all the time, and they are not able to give. They're not able to give back. Take for example, probably you have a friend, and the person comes to your house, or the person is living with you. And some of us women, we know how expensive it is to take care of men. Some men eat like 3 times what you are able to eat, and they are untidy, and you have to clean up after them. You have to cook for them. Then you still have to be of emotional support to them. So it takes a lot from it takes a lot from people to have relationships and to keep a relationship going, and to see a person will come and they'll hand you a $150 or $100 bill and think that they've just given you $1,000, and the next time you see that $100 bill is probably in the next 2 or 3 months, but you have to keep feeding that person. So where's the money going to come from? From you, obviously. And so you can't make any progress in life because you have to keep buying food to support somebody who eats so much, and so they're taking so much from you that you can't make any progress. So why on God's earth would you want to hold on to people like that? What's the point? What's the reason? That person is there basically to just benefit from you, because hey, it's not costing them anything. They're getting moral support, they're getting affection, they're getting their meals, they're getting their clothes washed, so they're happy. But you are unhappy because it's costing you so much. That person is a liability in your life. So that is what liabilities are. When you're talking about real people that are real liabilities in your life, that is what you have to look at. They take so much from you, and they give so very little, hardly anything in return, so it's on you all the time to make all the sacrifices for the home and all of these things. So you really don't need that, because that is just gonna keep you in a hole, or keep you on the wall, like I said in my previous video, like Humpty Dumpty. And one of those days, yes, it's gonna break you, and you're going to be too broken to be repaired. So let's just focus on everything that I have said and try to understand it. Listen to that video again, until it sinks in, and try to make sense of it and make the changes where it's necessary for you to make changes, because the last thing you want in your life is to hold on to these people that are really liabilities in your life. They're costing you too much. It costs you too much to keep them around. And if you just release them, then you're going to start seeing changes in your life. You're going to start seeing all the benefits of losing these people, because they were just draining you. They were just draining you. All they are there to do is to drain, and they have hardly nothing to give you in return. So it's always a pleasure to have you guys on board. Let me say hi and hello to Gregory Royer, one of my favorite fans. He's always listening. So Gregory is a typical example of a person who's very resilient. He's been through an accident in his young days, but he has not allowed that to keep him back. Even in his state, he's able to use his talents, create things and earn a living for himself and make life better for himself. So hats off to you, Gregory. And I know you can be a source of motivation to so many people, and your story can help somebody else. So Gregory, go out there and use your story to help other people who are just like you. And to all of you, my other viewers and friends, and those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much for your subscription. And please share this video with your friends and have them subscribe as well. It's always a pleasure to have more subscribers. It means a lot to me. And this is where I take my exit. Goodbye, and thank you so much for listening. I'll see you again on my next Real Talk, Real Stories Motivation. Goodbye.